Nick.
Yes.
Hey.
Hey.
Yay.
Oh, did we get it?
We're good. Sorry, everyone. We're having a little bit of technical issue, which is kind of weird. But anyway, I want to welcome Nicholas Granello to my podcast today. Hey, Nick, how's it going?
Great. Thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to Gigi. That's me in the 561. But you know me by another nickname that I've had from you for a long time that I adore.
Yes.
I love it very much.
Mama B.
That's right. That's right. I love that. Okay. Thanks for being here. I really, really appreciate that. We have several things to talk about. Nicholas is coming to us today from Dallas, Texas, where a lot of things have been going on, weather-wise and pandemic-wise and all sorts of things. Nick, my good friend Nick, is a man about town. He has his self-involved in a lot of things. So we're going to talk about several things. He has a great kitty. We're going to talk about that. I love the photos of his kitty that I get to see in the videos. So first of all, Nick, let's back it up a little bit, a little bit, a few weeks back to that bad weather that you guys had.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was pretty brutal. So I moved out of Dallas. I'm in the burbs now. Been here for about a year and a half.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to have to recover from that.
I know. I'm still recovering from it.
Whoa. Okay. Well, all right.
Yeah. Well, okay. To explain that, I have to go back a little bit further. But basically, the bar that I had been working at was scheduled to close. The owners sold the property. There are now multi-million-dollar condos there, or soon to be. Kind of the normal thing in Dallas is what's happening now uptown.
Yeah.
So once I knew that my lease was ending, I was paying quite a good bit of money for rent to live in the city, and something kind of opened up out here in the town where I grew up. I went to high school for about half the rent, so I decided to go ahead and make that move, just to reduce my spending if I didn't find something right away.
You know what? I think that's really very smart, considering what we've been through this last year. I mean, I really did. Mm-hmm.
And actually, I probably would have been fine, but I'm really glad I did it, because then the pandemic hit and all kind of other stuff happened. So yeah, it really worked out better. Well,
like living here in the Palm Beaches, it costs a lot of money to live in urban Dallas. I mean, it just does. And yeah, and so it's like, you're very smart to make that move. But then that weather it just hit everyone all in the Metroplex, which includes Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, all of the surrounding towns really hard. That was bad. Well, it hit the whole state hard. But
even like in places where it never freezes. I mean, Galveston, I think, it's like below freezing, and it's just bizarre.
Now, did I see a picture of you? You have some great pictures on Facebook. Did I see a photo of you with baby Kitty warming up in the car?
Yeah.
That is a great picture, because baby Kitty's just like, and baby Kitty's not baby. It's like, but just sitting there like, staring at the camera like, yes, we're in the car. It was such a cute picture.
Thank you. Yeah, that was the first day. I think the power went out like late Saturday night. I want to say like midnight or 1. And I got a text on my phone that said there's gonna be rolling blackouts for 45 minutes. Well, it was more like 11 hours of no power and then 1 hour of power. It was really awful. But we went and sat in the car. He's used to it. We've done road trips together. We drove to Colorado together in the car, so he's a car cat.
He's amazing. It was such a cute picture. I hope you'll let us put that on the page that we're going to make for you on our website, because everybody needs to see that. It's super, super cute. I love that cat. But that went on way longer than anyone thought, that weather and being without power and so cold, and people were freezing, and it was awful. But you came through that, and then you went on you just recently went on a spring break to one of my favorite places. You were in the Sedona area.
Yes. Yeah, I loved it. I went about 3 years ago with my ex, and I went out there for a week. We actually stayed in Flagstaff because it's a little cheaper, and it's only about an hour, 45 minutes drive to Sedona from there. So kind of based out of Flagstaff, did the same thing this time around, stayed in the historic Hotel Monte Vista, which is not super nice, but it's really cool. It's like
that sounds really cool. Tell us about that. It's
right in, like, smack dab in the middle of downtown Flagstaff, right across from, it's on, like, Route 66, and the train station is right there. Supposed to be haunted. I don't really know about that, but it is very old, and, like, all these famous people stayed there. So we stayed in the Bob Hope Suite this time.
Oh, cool.
Which was, yeah, and there's, like, the REM room, and Elvis stayed there, and all these bands and stuff. I don't know why. I guess Flagstaff is or has been in the past, like a destination for musical acts and stuff.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, me either. It's a great town though. It's a lot of fun, and then like I said, Sedona's right there. Just rent a car. But that was an interesting trip too. This time around, I went in late April last time. Well, we went in around March 10th, which was also my birthday and spring break, so it kind of rolled in.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you. So we experienced every single season. So, like, I think arrived in Flagstaff on Sunday, and on Tuesday it was like a blizzard.
Wow.
It even snowed in Sedona a little bit. It didn't stick there.
It did? Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is beautiful to see those red rocks, the contrast.
I bet that was gorgeous.
Oh, man, I love it there. But
and
yeah,
you did some national parks, too, didn't you?
Yeah, Coconino Forest. I mean, that kind of encompasses that area. But we, what's the Walnut Canyon or something? I can't remember, but I think that's the name of it. It's either
It's Walnut Canyon National Monument. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, yeah. That place is amazing. I mean,
you know what? I'm going to be honest. I've not heard of that. And we do national parks. We love them, but really? I've not heard of that one, and that's on my to-do. I'm going to tell Gary it's on our to-do list now because that looks amazing.
Oh man, the views are spectacular. I really didn't do it justice with the photo, but you can't. Something like that, taking a picture, it's not.
You
really,
can't. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
you
have
can't
to just be there. But it's a lot of. I can't remember how many flights of stairs it said we walked, but it's a lot of. It's all paved. It's really easy, but it's like just a bunch of stairs. Coming back up is a little.
Oh, wait a minute, Nick. I may rethink this.
I know. I told my mom, I'm like, they should put an escalator or something in here.
No kidding. Oh, but some of the photos are really beautiful by the little Verde River. You took a photo. You look like you were really relaxed and enjoying that time.
It was perfect. Just what was needed, after being kind of cooped up. And I know you guys do traveling. I'm a big traveler too. I used to go to Europe a couple times a year, and so I've been like cabin fever, being stuck in Texas all this time.
Us too. It's taken a toll for sure on that. Let's talk about the pandemic and what's been going on there in Big D with everything, with the hospitality industry. Just update us on it.
Well, it seems like I went out last night with a friend of mine to a bar in Oak Cliff, which is a little neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Bishop Arts, it was a brand new place. They just opened like 3 months ago. We just happened to walk in. They were doing a drag show, which is always fun. So it was like, let's check this out. I
love the Bishop Art District. Love it.
It's so lively now. I mean, I remember when I first started hanging out there, like in maybe 2007, there was nothing. I mean, there was a couple of restaurants, maybe one bar. Just so much stuff down there now.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Yeah, but so last night, I haven't really been going out a whole lot, but last night I did, and I mean, it's just, people are acting like it's normal again.
Yeah.
They lifted the mask mandate in March, the governor did, but most places are still requiring it.
Mm-hmm, that's good.
Yeah, most places are requiring. But this bar in particular they didn't. It was just kind of like a free for all, which is, I'm half vaccinated, so I'm still a little nervous about it. Yeah.
Good. Well, but that's good though. I mean, did you get, which one did you get?
Pfizer.
The Pfizer. They say if you get the first shot, that really does give you almost like 80%. That's what they say. It's all over the map.
Oh, okay.
I just read that. Yeah, and then when you get the second one, then you're still not at 100, but you're like 90 something. So that's good that you have gotten one. So good.
Scheduled for the next couple of weeks.
I was communicating with a guy out in Los Angeles about a bar that we were very anxious to go back to. It's called Birds and Bees, and it's in downtown Los Angeles. It's the coolest thing. And so when we can, as we get fully vaccinated, we will be officially next week. We'll be past our 2 weeks after the second shot. Yeah. So next Thursday is our day, our fully vaccinated. But anyway. And we can't wait to travel again. And that was one of the places that we wanted to go. And we kind of developed a relationship with this guy. And he's like, no, you know what? We shut down during the pandemic and we're not reopening. He said that's what's happened to so many bars in LA. Yeah.
Here too, I think it's interesting. Some places are scheduled to reopen, but not until next year.
Oh, no. Wow.
Yeah, I know they closed, a full year ago, closed down, and they're scheduled to reopen January 2022.
Oh, gosh, wow.
So, I'm not really sure. It's kind of been, so what happened in Dallas, just a little quick rundown, is the bar.
You don't have to make it quick. Take your time.
Okay. So the bar that I got hired at, which was sort of temporary for me, they were only giving me 2 shifts a week, and it was a little neighborhood kind of divey bar, but I like those.
Yeah.
But there was no food program there. So what happened was we were able to reopen in June, I think it was, for 2 weeks, and then everyone got shut down again. And then I think by October, maybe it was October, but bars could reopen if they served food following these guidelines, 20% capacity or whatever it was, XYZ. So what happened was a lot of these bars started selling hot dogs and shit. Literally this place I go to occasionally, and it's a little neighborhood bar too, but they just have these disgusting microwaved soggy hot dogs. Oh. And they're like, you don't have to eat it, but I have to give it to you. I'm like, okay, give it to me. I'll just kick it right into the trash can.
That's hilarious.
I know. It's a little workaround there, I guess.
No kidding.
But some of them have closed for good. I think the bar I was working at has reopened. The owner reached out to me in December, I think, and I was just kind of like, oh, I'm already into some other stuff, so.
Yeah.
No thanks. I mean, I only worked there for really 3 months, and I was already looking for something else. So it was not a good fit.
There's so much in Dallas. I don't think people, even if you're not from Dallas, you have all kinds of misconceptions about what Dallas is like. But so many restaurants and so many great bars to go to, and just fun things to do. And this whole thing has just impacted everything so fiercely. You just wonder what it will look like when it's all said and done. When we're really, really back to normal, say next year, how it's really going to, shake out. What will people really want to come back to do? But let's talk a little bit about you being a great mixologist and being in that role of bartender back there, making people happy. Mm-hmm. What are some of your personal favorite drinks to make that you they're fun and you like making them?
I really enjoy it. It's kind of a double-edged sword because usually the fun drinks are the ones that take a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. But anything that I have to muddle and shake, I love it. Let me make a mojito.
Okay, I would think that would be kind of a pain. It's like, oh no, I have to muddle, but you like it. Oh, cool.
It's just you feel like you're actually, instead of just making a whiskey Coke, which is you feel like you're actually doing something, like actually creating something. So it's a little more exciting. Now, I will say I worked at in a restaurant bar for a while, and the server had the nerve to ring up like 7 mojitos at one time. And I'm like, dude, come on.
7. Oh, fun.
It was like the whole table ordered a mojito. I'm like, oh, my God. Okay, here we go. That'll be about 30 minutes.
Oh, wow. What is a pet peeve for a bartender? I mean, you have people sitting there and you're trying to work, they're trying to talk to you. Because we're guilty of that, Steve, Gary and I. We love to sit there at the bar at a, nice place and chat with the bartender.
Oh.
And I'm sure they would like to kill us, but we just love it.
Well, you guys are such cool people. I mean, I might be biased, but a bartender will enjoy.
Yeah, go ahead and say that, though, even if you are biased. That's okay.
But if you're cool and like fun to talk to, a bartender's gonna enjoy that, And it's all about kind of reading the situation. If they look like they're, their hair's on fire because they're so busy, then that's a different thing. But typically that's definitely not a pet peeve. Pet peeve would be something like I can't. There's no alcohol in this drink, or something like that. Where you're like, don't tell me I'm not doing my job right. That's when things get a little. Because I've done something. Oh, I'm about to confess on here.
Go ahead.
I mostly did this when it wasn't people sitting at the bar, but like sitting at a table. So I made a Long Island iced tea, which, as you know, is 99% liquor.
You're right.
And the server brought it back and he said, "Oh, the guy said it wasn't strong enough." I'm like, this can't be any stronger. What? So I just took my bottle of rum and poured rum down the straw and sent it back out. So when you take that sip, it's going to be pure rum at first.
Well, that's what I always say to people, though. I mean, seriously, don't mess with, be nice to servers, be nice to your mixologist, because they are handling precious food and precious alcohol. Why would you not want to be nice? I don't get that. But I'm telling you, Nick, if I was behind the bar and had to deal with some stuff that I personally have seen and all of this stuff that Gary and I have done through the use of places we've been, I would probably be asking for bail money, because people can truly be ridiculous as customers. And so it's a good thing that let me just hope that I don't ever have to call you for bail money if I get into that situation.
I got you covered, Mama B.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I love champagne. Now, I do. That is like my thing. And I love a really good French 75. I think that's one of my favorites.
Oh,
yeah. Those are really, really good. And I first had, that was actually my birthday in Miami, and Gary and I were at this really cool place. And this fantastic server. We love our servers. Well, you know us. I mean, you know how we are. And so she's like, "It's your birthday. I'm going to bring you something really special." And that was the first time I ever had one, and they've just been my favorite ever since. But
so good.
They're delicious. But when at a bar, what always bothers me about ordering champagne is I order by the glass. If I order, like Clicquot or, a Perrier Jouet, something like that, I want to make sure that I get that. So should I worry?
I don't think so. It would be that there's a lot of times that people think, even with liquor bottles, oh, you're putting cheap liquor in this. And that does happen probably to some extent, but I have never in my life, in my career, seen anything like that.
Okay.
You're going to get what you order. My only issue with ordering champagne by the glass is, unless it's like a split, like a mini bottle, it might be a bottle that's already opened. It might be a little bit flat or oxidized, but typically it's fine. Yeah. But yeah, usually champagne, get a whole bottle.
Well, that's what I typically do if we're not ordering for the table. It's get a split, because I feel better about that. So
yeah.
But anyway, you're busy. You're going to school. You're doing all sorts of things. And now let's talk about your kitty just a little bit. Tell us about Kitty.
Dima. His name is Dima. He is he's going to be a year old in May, so he's next month.
He's an orange tabby, everyone.
Orange tabby, super fluff, like too much fluff. I have to cut mats out of his armpits all the time. I don't know how it. He's so crazy. But my brother's family had this female cat that got pregnant before they got her fixed, which they have learned their lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was going outside and whatever. And so I don't know who Dima's father is, poor guy, but they just basically gave me a kitten. I was petless for a while, really living the dream, no litter box. I could go wherever I wanted to. But my niece shows up with this little orange kitten in a beer bucket, where they put like six
right.
beers in. And I just couldn't say no. I'm like, oh.
You shouldn't, because it's adorable. Oh, my
I know.
gosh.
And he's so good. I mean, I haven't taken him out lately, but when he was younger, I had a harness and a leash for him. And we would go to the park and, like, walk around. And, he doesn't follow me. He's not like a dog, but I have to follow him. But
that's unusual, though, because usually they don't like to have a harness on.
Right. Yeah.
They're free spirits. You can't hold them down.
Yeah. Well, I think he's a little bit more like that now, because I recently purchased a cat door that fits in my windowsill. Because I have like a fenced-in yard, and I'm not on a busy street or anything, but he's in and out of the house 20 times a day now.
That's good. Yeah. And also, excuse me, after you got power back, I'm going to go back to the power.
Oh, yeah.
One of the first things you did, if I'm not mistaken, was to pick up your electric guitar.
Mm-hmm. That was even before it was back on permanently. We had power for, I don't know, 2 hours. I'm like, let me plug this puppy in, because I have an acoustic too, but this is a little different. The electric is, you feel the power.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to get back into playing. My band, I had a band like in high school years.
Yeah.
A little bit after, we did a reunion show last February, so it was like a month before everything kind of hit the fan. And that sort of lit this like desire to want to start really getting into playing and doing that stuff again.
Well, you need to. Would you get the same band back together, do you think?
We were talking about, because we did all old material like that we wrote when we were teenagers. So it was kind of, it sounded like teenage songs, whatever. But we were a hit. I mean, people liked it. But yeah, we talked about maybe keeping rehearsal going, writing some new material maybe.
You should do that. You know why? Because people now need that more than ever. Even if you guys just went out and got started by being a free show somewhere.
Yeah.
People need that. They need to connect with other people, and we need music in our lives. So do that. Get on that.
Oh, man. You are so correct. I think that's between travel and live music, that's the two things that I have, like, dreadfully missed. I don't know if that's the word to say, but, like, that's what I've really, like, been, like, there's something, like, there's something that I want, and I can't figure it out, and then that's what it is.
Well, yeah, I think what's a little bit hard right now is that I think we're all like, you have your shot, Gary and I have both of our shots. So next week we hit the fully vaccinated point, and I think it's almost harder now a little bit because we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
But we're not there yet. And then and other people who refuse. For example, in Fort Lauderdale today, there's a big event. It's called the Unmasking March, and people are gathering together in these big groups. And Florida's been hit pretty hard, if you've kept up with it at all.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of idiocy regarding it.
Yeah.
And so they're marching. It's the Million Unmasked March in Fort Lauderdale. And then when they get to the end of the march, they're all going to throw their mask into a big fire and burn it. It's like, if people would just use their heads, we could all come out of this sooner and get back to live music without being worried, and travel and all of that. So it's really.
Thank you. I mean, that things like that really blow my mind, because it is a blatant disregard for public health, which is other people. Yeah. So I was talking to my sister-in-law, and she was my family, my brother's family. They all got COVID back in the last summer.
Oh no.
Yeah, and she's a nurse, but they were kind of saying like, oh, we don't know if we're going to do the vaccine. I'm like, listen, like do it, not for you, but for others. Yeah. If you're not worried about yourself, that's fine, but still do it so other people can, because they were talking about herd immunity in Dallas County by June. Because they've done a really good job with the vaccines here. Hopefully everywhere, but I definitely
no, Florida now in the last few months since January, it has changed. So things
really?
are. Yeah, put 2 and 2 together there, and and so now it's where Granello was through public health. It's really changed for the better, and the numbers of people being vaccinated going up. So, and people are pretty much everywhere we go. People are wearing masks. They're still masking up, and they're being good. But I anticipate that changing, over the coming months. And so we all need to use our head. But anyway, I know you're really busy, and I appreciate you so much. I've missed you. I miss seeing you. We haven't been to Dallas in a long time, but when we come through again, I'm going to buy you the biggest drink ever, and and I'm going to buy you one of those hot dogs.
I think they come free.
The
free, hot dogs.
Even better. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm a cheap date. What can I say? You guys have to come. And if I have friends in Fort Lauderdale, but if I find myself in Florida, I'll hit you up.
You absolutely come to Fort Lauderdale, as you very well know if you have friends there. It's a great place to visit, and we're not that far from Fort Lauderdale, and I'll even buy you a SoFlo drink. So
awesome.
That's a promise. Really miss seeing you, but it's so great, isn't it, that we can keep up on Facebook.
Oh, because, absolutely.
You and I go back a long way now. It's been a long way. I mean, I can remember when Gary and I were still living in Ohio, and you were like texting or through social media. Even then, I would think it was a Bravo show that I had to watch. It's like and, it's great that we can keep up that way. Really appreciate that.
I think it's been like 15 years or a little bit more even.
It's been right at that. Yeah, about 15
wow.
years. That's crazy. That's just crazy. Wow. But anyway, I thank you so much for being here with me. You are originally from NOLA. You're originally from New Orleans.
I am,
That's also a very cool place. So you couldn't go any other way coming from New Orleans than being the cool cat that you are.
Oh, so. Come on. Well, I mean, I'll take it.
Thank you, Nick, for being with me in Gigi. That's me in the 561 today. I appreciate it so much.
Merci, Gigi. My pleasure.
Okay. Listen, everyone, these podcasts are always available on northpalmbeachlife.com, our website. Also on there, you see the photos of our great guests like Nick. You'll be able to see him and his kitty, because I'm stealing some photos from him to put on the page that we're going to make for Nick. And be sure and rewind back and listen to some of our other podcasts. We've had some really, really fun people on there. More to come in the future. We appreciate you for listening. These podcasts are always available, not just on our website. Go to YouTube. Nick will also be there with this interview on, just give it a few days, but he will be there as well on YouTube at northpalmbeachlife.com. All of them are always available on iTunes. You can listen in on Spotify, Pandora, too many platforms to name here. Thank you again for tuning in. Gigi, that's me in the 561. Now stay tuned.